Hey, greetings. This is Silent Bob. I bet you're all wondering why I got my foot out there. Today's topic I'm going to talk about is foot gear and what happens to avoid a blister when you're hiking when the shit hits the fan, or if you're just hiking up in the upper woods. I'm sure Maverick will like to chime in on this. So anybody else that wants to chime in on this video and has some other ideas, go ahead and feel free to add to your to the comments in the video block there. Anyway, as you can see, mine are a little bit different. I know they're ugly and look a little bit dark and black, and let me just say one thing: they're just hardened from years of walking barefoot. I guess I'm not one of those hippie guys yet. Haven't grown my hair out since I retired from the military. Still keep it kind of clean shaven with a high and tight. But certainly when it comes to feet, I've spent a lot of years hiking up in the mountains of the Appalachians and the Rockies and Afghanistan. So I know that footwear and foot gear is like a high priority to me. As you know, we've talked about this in the past. Foot gear is like a very important thing to me, and you can see that I've got a pair of good, well-worn foot gear here, a good desert boot. I like to have Thinsulate, partially because the product of Thinsulate has really helped me both in combat situations, but also in hiking situations when you have temperatures drop up and down, and then in the day they swelter up into the 100-degree mark. Allows your feet to breathe more easily, and of course I'm a firm believer in laziness, so I always try to find a boot that has a zipper along here. Sure saves up on tying up, and at my age I'm getting a little bit more crankier in the morning, and I don't like to bend over so much, so pulling a zipper up is a lot more easier than tying those boots up. Of course I tie mine pretty tight, and that's an important thing when you're doing some serious hiking. What I want to give you a little idea about is what I've done to help create a blister kit. It's a pretty simple thing, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to open this up with one hand. Don't know if I'll be successful, so I might have to put the video down for a few seconds, but feel free to just kind of laugh at me. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to go ahead and pull all this out so that you guys have a good understanding of what I'd like to see in a blister kit. I know a lot of you have a thread and needle type idea, but believe it or not, sometimes it's just as simple to go ahead and create yourself. First, I always make sure I have a pair of gloves. I want to try to make sure that even though I'm in the field, you come in contact, you're not going to be able to wash your hands. So a good pair of gloves, don't have to be sterile or anything, but a good pair of gloves to prevent you from having any contact. What I have here, and it's really interesting, is Band-Aid has created a friction block. And, I've had mixed results with this stuff. Getting a good pair of socks is probably the bestest wise idea. I've got, in my opinion, wool cotton socks are the best. I didn't bring out a pair today just because I figured everybody knows how to get a pair of wool socks. You can get them from Cabela's, you can get them from Walmart, you can get them from any of your sports stores. So I'm not going to really tell you which sock is out there, because that's just going to open me up to more of, somebody saying one sock is better. Okay, but I have had really good results with this Band-Aid friction thing, and believe it or not, when we've gone to Disney World or major parks, I make my kids actually put this stuff on the back of their heels and on the bottom of their soles, and they've never had a blister. And typically they don't do a lot of walking, so that's kind of a plus thing. Of course, I have a mixture of different types of Band-Aids that I'm going to put on, if I have a blister. I like these little latex-free ones that I bought from Walmart. Of course, your standard Band-Aids, but these ones seem to adhere a little bit more to the blister site, and if you're on a long walk, you don't want that rubbing that blister. Of course, I always make sure that I carry a couple of 27 gauge needles. I don't like using regular needles just because I just have this thing about sterility. So I carry like 2 or 3 of these in my blister kit, and they're there for popping the blister. And I usually go at a 10-degree I know there's some people that go at a 45, but I like going at a 10-degree angle. And you know, if I have to burst that bubble of that particular blister, it's just going to be a lot easier for me to mesh that skin and try to keep that skin on there. Of course, the typical moleskin that you can get. I've got varying sizes of moleskin. That one I just cut out for this demo, but I've got some that Dr. Scholl's puts out that are little ringlets. I have a mixed bag of those, and that usually helps me out. Really, you know, that if you don't take good care of your feet aren't going to take good care of you on a long distance march. And I've marched with the Marines, I've marched with the Army, I've marched with the Air Force, and so I have a good idea of each of the unit different services requirements for good footwear. I think the Marines spend a lot of time talking about it and making sure that you have good foot powder or foot spray. Take good care of your boots. That's really important. If you think that you're going to just put on a pair of brand new boots and start marching 10-20 miles, forget about it. You're going to wind up being a casualty on the roadside. So, you know, take the time. I mean, I wear my boots to school where I teach. I break in a new pair and then I put them on the shelf. And I know they're ready to rock and roll when I really need them. I hope this is an interesting video for you. If you're a new prepper, you know, take heed of some of the stuff that I said. Of course, certainly stay on DPF and look at some of the threads that we've talked about in the past. I know we talked about boots. I know a lot of people have different opinions on what boots are, and like I said, I'm not here to recommend one boot over another. I'm just saying break those boots in before something does happen and you really need to use them. This is Silent Bob out. I hope you have a great day.